Morning everyone, this is Miss Sparks with my Earth Science in a Box kit for Zoology class at UPSM. Your first step when you get your boxes, you just want to unpack it. Find a place like your dining room table or outside on the sidewalk, or if you go to a park on a bench, and just lay out all your items. Take an inventory and make sure that you have everything. One of the most important things in your kit are the directions. So there's some background information here. Hopefully you're starting to appreciate how Earth science really complements all the other sciences because everything we do is integrated and works together with the Earth. Once you have read your background and you've done your pre-assessment questions, then you're going to turn to the third page where you have a list of experiments. And to start, you're going to choose one of the experiments, keep a record of what you're doing, take pictures, make a video, and then I'm going to ask that you share your video or just live in person. Tell us about your project, your experience, and we'll share out at this week's class. And then Mr. Young and I will be taking a look and evaluating you to give you improvements and suggestions as you develop your science skills. And we have some spots this summer for you to work with him at his Ecotek lab. So we are looking for serious science students that really invest themselves in this project. So have fun. Don't worry about making mistakes. Make a bunch of mistakes. And I will see you for class on Thursday.
Well, we're out in the field here. We got my son Nico. He's the grunt today. Of course, you know me. And you know
Mr. Young, I'm somewhere in there. You sent me in there.
Mr. Young, we are practicing social distancing in Maybury State Park, which is in Northville, Michigan, which is about 40 minutes north of downtown. So not too far from 8 Mile. I'm going to give you a view of our beautiful surroundings here. See what kind of animals that you can see. We saw some red-winged blackbirds. We saw a slider. So of course we wish you were here experiencing the beautiful Michigan nature. But we're out here. We're going to show you how to get started with your Earth Science kit. Sound good? Yep.
Yes.
And what you're going to notice about Earth Science is it really integrates biology and chemistry together with what's going on in the earth and the weather and the troposphere and all that. So, all right. So any questions so far? You want to show them the samples?
Yeah.
And if you don't have a shovel, it's okay. In the kit, there's these measuring spoons that you can use. You just want to dig down a little bit. So,
Here's the soil.
okay.
How far do you want to dig?
You want to go down through that first horizon, man. So go down at least like a foot. That way, as you go deeper in there, you're going to get higher concentration of compounds in the soil. So when you start testing for pH, start testing for dissolved solids, if you start looking for anything in the soil that could be like a macroorganism, it's going to be deeper in the soil. So do at least a foot. Now check with mom though first.
You can take your soil sample right from your backyard. So let me show you the hole that we dug here. Make sure to ask your parents first. Maybe around the fence line, they won't mind. But there are macroorganisms living in all soil. Okay, so how deep would you say is that hole? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so and Mr. Young, you're thinking like a foot down?
Foot down, that's it. 12 inches down in there.
Because you want to get past all the dead like leaves and stuff to where the organisms actually live. All right, so you're just going to take your shovel. You want to show them, Nico?
Yeah.
And you're just going to dig a little bit and put the soil sample in your bag.
Samples are much better, less skimming required.
You're going to get your water sample. It does not have to be from a lake at a state park. It can be from a sink. It can be from your pool in the backyard. If you have a pool that hasn't been opened yet, that would actually be very interesting because you would get some rainwater. But you can pick different locations in your house, like the bathroom sink, maybe the basement.
So here we go. So I got me a sheet here. Drop raw. Nico's holding the beaker really well. Good work, Nico. Good work. So watch me. I make a little bit of an indentation right there. I put it right around that indentation. I'm gonna take my water. I'm gonna start pouring. What's gonna happen is you're gonna start seeing the water dripping down at the bottom. Okay, there you go. You're gonna see how you see how that's dripping?
So we're separating the solids out.
There it is. There it is. And you do that until you get to a point where you have enough water that you can test with your pH paper. So basically, the filtrate paper captures all of the sediment.
Maybe.
No, not 6. That's too close.
Lower a little bit.
Yeah.
12?
Yeah, somewhere around 10 to 12. That's a good call.
Okay, yeah, and it's okay to do a range. So because it's not exact, we're out in the field, we're just kind of getting a ballpark. And you can see where Nico's fingers kind of were too, where he touched the water. You're getting a little blue there as well. So if you take a sample from your house sink, Mr. Young, how could you kind of switch it up, maybe divide it into different cups?
Yeah, you can put it into different cups and then add things to each cup. Let's say, for example, add vinegar to one cup, add pine salt to another, baking soda, and then just see how the pH of the water changes as you add new solutes.
How do you go about collecting organisms? Any tips on that?
You can find it from your soil sample, but you just gotta kind of chase them around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And to get the worms, really in your soil sample, if you put on a pair of gloves, like Nico has a pair of gloves on, and then I thought this was a good idea. Mr. Young said it was too fancy for the field. But I brought a white sheet of paper, and what I would do is I would just dump some of the soil on there, take some gloves and kind of just go through it, maybe even download a microscope app and see what you can see. So you're gonna hopefully see lots of insects, which are arthropods. You're gonna see some worms, so you might see flatworms, and here's the zoology. Flatworms are phylum Platyhelminthes, roundworms are phylum Nematoda, segmented worms are annelids. So you can kind of just divide them into different sections. So the whole goal is just to get us outside, doing some real science, some real field work.